everyone. It's Candace Goldman, and this is Meet the Practitioner Day with my new friend, old friend, Harry Kroner. Harry, you've been around the forum and doing this work for a very long time, but we've never talked face-to-face, I don't think. Can you help remind me? Have we talked like this before?
I don't believe we have, but this is really exciting. I'm really happy to be here, and I have done this work for a long time, and this is really a wonderful opportunity for me to share the depth of doing working with the higher self, which is really what I like and enjoy, is talking to source, talking to our own individual source and higher self, and taking it to the next level. I've done hypnotherapy and spiritual hypnotherapy for many years, over 20 years since I started doing past lives, the Brian Weiss style and beyond. And even then I started taking it to new heights. And I always knew there's something else. I want to connect with that directly with the soul and with the source much faster and better. And Dolores' work, obviously, quantum healing, have brought it forth. And even that has continued and evolved, and I enjoy the way Beyond Quantum Healing has evolved further and taking those lessons and progressing with the vibration of everybody's energies. So it's really wonderful to see this. And I have chosen to, I know how we all dabble in different things, and I have chosen to really taking it to the next level also, and understanding the energetic part of it, which Dolores always speaks about. It's all about energy, about how we raise the vibration of ourselves. And I've learned this really wonderful energy modality of multidimensional work called Marconics. And it really sets up the fifth dimensional body and the whole matrix of the fifth dimensional body, and allows you to host more of your higher consciousness, of your higher self. So there's a lot of integrations of the higher self. So the combination of really having the access to the higher self and to source itself through Dolores' work, and then getting it to people to actually be able to embody greater portions of the higher self. I mean, some of the work does it, but enabling the body and allowing the crystalline structure to host higher vibration permanently, it really is a unique combination that I enjoy doing. And I do that on my VIP days. I actually did that just a few weeks back. I was invited by a few people from California to do some VIP days, which I do kind of my own version of quantum healing. We take a little break, and then we do the energy healing, and then I do another kind of soul session of teaching them how to do some more actually tools and skills. Because I think a lot of our people don't only want the information and the healing, they also want the skills of, okay, how do I do this, to teach them how to do stuff. So if they want to know, okay, how do I do automatic writing? So I like to teach that, because I've been doing it for now about 5 years now, to do automatic writing. So I can do, okay, let me show you that. You can do it within an hour. And also show, okay, hey, help me connect with the spaceships, like I told you before. So they're like, okay, here's how you do it in a quick meditation. I record it for them in a separate way, and they can just repeat it in a quick way, 15, 20 minutes, and get there. So it is taking all this work and taking next level and bringing it to everyone, and make it accessible to everyone. Because I think it is almost a shame to not let this work be limited to only the practitioners, and just you need to expand this to all of humanity as much as possible. And I love the forum. I love the way you do it in the forum, and the upcoming big summit that you're doing in Sarasota, Florida in October. I love that, because it is taking it and bringing it to the people. We need to bring it, the awareness, to everyone, and make it available to everyone. So it's really wonderful in that way.
Hey, Harry, I checked, and we haven't published it yet, but I believe we're going to publish it today. With your permission, we actually are publishing some automatic writing, some messages, a transmission that you got from Dolores shortly after she passed. Dolores, the beloved teacher of ours, is still so, there's so much interest and so much connection with her. And as you and I both know, the connection's even easier for us now.
Yes.
And for even people who, so many people will say, I didn't get to meet her, I didn't get to see her. And we're like, gosh, you can do that right now.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to, and on this page, if you all want to come back to it, Quantum Healing and Beyond on Facebook, in our article on quantumhealingpractitioners.com, our practitioner blog there, Harry, we have 2 articles in a row. We have Meet the Practitioner Harry Kroner that was published yesterday, and today we're going to be publishing your transmission from Dolores. You know, I went back and looked at that, and I was just, I mean, it just brought back that whole time, and it was so amazing. Can you talk a little bit about what that was like, that Dolores came through, and a little bit about how that message, what that message was, how it made you feel?
Yeah, actually, it's quite unique because I think like a lot of us, we felt when Dolores left, we felt it. So we kind of have the feeling of knowing that connection exists. And again, I've done some automatic, I can connect with that level, and I know a lot of practitioners do that, but it was something unique as far as getting that sensation that she's really there, and knowing like, oh yeah, I'm really communicating with her, and you can feel the essence of Dolores, and she feels, and she's like, oh, I'm so much more powerful now. I can be everywhere and I want, and you can feel that she's like actually excited about it. So it's so much more than just like a clear saying. You can feel the energy behind it, the excitement that she has of like, wow, I can be everywhere and anytime. Yeah. And you guys can access me. And I have, and my sessions, I have to admit, my sessions have improved dramatically since she passed, because I am so much more connected with her and her guidance throughout. And I think like all of us do anyway, we kind of channel half of the session. And I just did a session just on Saturday, just a few days back. And my client, she came up, and she's very connected, but she's like, oh, every time I thought something, you said it. I'm like, yeah, well, we all kind of do it. It's like, that's the beauty of it. You allow it to flow, and it just flows beautifully. And again, the enhancement that I experienced since that part of connecting with Dolores. And sometimes I'm like, okay, Dolores, what do I do next?
Right. Yeah. You know, I felt the same way. Something very interesting happened in a session of mine just a couple of weeks ago, where Dolores literally got in my ear and told me to do a couple things. You know, one, she told me to go to the restroom. Then she told me to tell my client to go to the restroom. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh. And she actually sat up on her own and said, I have to go to the restroom. And it was fine. And then I'm thinking, and Dolores is so in my head. And she actually, while my client's in the restroom, you know what she said to me? And this I've never heard before. She said, do not ask her questions. She needs to stop repeating these questions and repeating this story. She's done. She told me to end the session. It was crazy. Wow. I've never had anything like that. There's more to that story, as you might imagine, and I won't finish that here. But it was astonishing, and I just listened. You know, I now think of Dolores as part of my team, my guidance and my team, and her voice is so clear, and the feeling of her is so clear, isn't it? Because it's still very much her. She's very strong. She's very direct, and she's funny.
Yes, exactly. And she has a kind of a grandmotherly, like, oh, it's okay. You can, it's okay. I'm with you here. Yeah. So it really is very reassuring. And I think you mentioned that just a couple of one of your latest things is like, at some point we need her less and less, because we are getting to a point of like, we are connected ourselves very clearly and easily. So we need her less and less of her guidance, but still it comes out whenever we need to. And it's beautiful to feel that and know that it's within our power to do so. And when I sensed that, when I was channeling her energy, it felt so, I had to say that I almost felt like sweet, because it just felt like, oh, it's not an end. It's actually just the beginning of even a greater chapter of her work. So it felt that sweetness, and I had to share. Don't share that much in the forum, but I had to share that because I felt like at that moment people really. And she's like, "You have to put it in the forum." I'm like, okay.
Well, and my favorite part about it was that she talked about being there, calling her and being there, because of, you know, the Spinners song that so aptly connects in my own experience, but also the fact about evolving and how exciting it is, and how to take her work now and grow it and evolve. She used that word a couple different times, grow and evolve, and she's going to help. And I love that. And things really have been shifting. And I can't wait to see, because today we're actually doing this recording the day after the big solar eclipse. of August 21st, 2017. And just saying that, the hairs are standing up on my arms and down my legs. We've moved into a new chapter of the new earth. What do you think, Harry?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I felt the tingling. I was blessed enough to give myself the opportunity to just spend some time with the eclipse. Although here in Arizona, it wasn't a full eclipse, but still it was quite a unique, and the energies did come through. I felt the tingling and all that kind of stuff that came through. And at some point I was just enjoying it, and suddenly some red, beautiful magenta color just flooded my eyes, and it was just beautiful. And I was like, is this real? Is this just me feeling it? And so like, oh no, I could not replicate it, because usually, if you just close your eyes, you see like this kind of orangey yellow light, but that kind of magenta that kind of flooded me. It was very unique. And then a beautiful hawk just flew like not even 10, 15 feet above my head and just looked at me. A beautiful, it was a golden eagle, I believe, unbelievably beautiful. Just flew right, a very slow glide, very slow. I was like, this is a unique, because usually I see them kind of fly over the ridge here, but not very low. But this was so low. I was like, we were looking at each other. It was pretty impressive. And I was just like, no, this is not a coincidence. Right at the eclipse. So there's a lot of that energy that came through, and I feel it. You feel something, again, another layer have been lifted. That the thing that held us back in some way has been cleared and lifted. It's like it just feels freer. And that is beautiful. And I have a few articles that I wrote about moving into fifth dimensional living, because with this work that I've done for years now, and with the energy work that I've done in the past 3 years, I really have upgraded myself and really have learned what it is to feel, to be without fear. And it's so hard to explain what it is to be without fear and doubt. And it's just such a freeing experience. And it's unbelievable to share that and to feel that there's even more and more. And we know it's infinite in every dimension, in every aspect of ourselves. There's always another part of our higher self, another part of our greater consciousness that just exists there in every layer. So we just are allowing ourselves to feel and be those greater and greater parts of ourselves.
Yeah.
And it feels good. And
just let it come in, right? Yeah, but we all still are human, and our conscious mind talks to us. I mean, even with you, I'm listening to your wonderful eclipse story talking about, is this just my mind? About 2 minutes before we connected here for this show, I happened to read something from our colleague, Carolyn Yazzie. And you know what she said? She talked about the blue and red energies coming through from Archangel Michael, especially during this time. And of course, blue and red make magenta. Not only that, the golden eagle, I think, is particularly connected to Dolores. Yes, the red bird. The golden eagle, it's kind of like her higher self almost bird, is what I think. And I've had some golden eagle experiences with Dolores, so I'll connect that with you.
Oh, wow.
With you later. But for me too, yesterday, the eclipse, the birds were everywhere, a multitude of birds, and it was amazing. Harry, you're a published author, right? You've written a couple books, and you have some guided meditations. Will you tell people out there a little bit about that?
Well, again, my purpose is to spread the word and allow to be really enrich the world as much as I can with my message and my understanding. My main focus was always more spiritual work. But through my work as a hypnotherapist for many years, I noticed that a lot of people have such a hard time letting go of their trauma and of their anxiety, and they need a little more help as far as learning the tools and learning and understanding consciously also what is it that needs to happen. So I really wrote, the first book I wrote was I wrote a chapter in the book, To Change, which is a beautiful series of books about transformation and personal awareness. And I wrote about a quantum healing experience that I had about this woman who, with my assistance, was able to regain her ability to, she regained her well, it's a long story, but it's a beautiful story that about how she was able to have children again. And now she has a beautiful child, who's about, I think, 4 years old now. With the help of quantum healing and other soul sessions of the sort. And on the book, I wrote a book that was my full book about freedom from anxiety. I thought, first of all, it's really about freedom from fear at all. And this is what I just talked about, being completely free of fear. Anxiety is just a very clear, people know what it means, and it's very kind of catchy for people to grab the book and see it. And the point is to help people gain the understanding of that it's not, anxiety is not, it's a whole systemic thing. It's a physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, because it really is about not being connected to your source and not understanding that what you are. So, and bringing it to the public awareness that this is more, anxiety is really about being disconnected and being focused on the small me and not the greater me, the greater self, which is really what it is. You think about it. But people need a lot more help with that, a lot more tools. Okay, how do I change my mind? How do I stop the racing thoughts? How do I do it? So it goes through a little more details on all those levels of how to shift themselves and really become who they are.
That's
so that's
great.
part of that stuff. And I did a lot of workshops of past lives throughout the years. So at some point I was like, okay, I have to produce it more professionally and do some serious productions about that, because I think it's needed, and giving people opportunity to just download some stuff, and I'm doing a lot more of them now, and I'm gonna bunch them up together for my Starseed gatherings that I do. So I record most of those meditations, which are really wonderful meditations, which I do with my colleague Jennifer Robel, and we do a lot of channelings in it. So it really is quite high. So, for example, our last one was about the Lion's Gate, obviously, which just happened. And I was Gaia to just bring people into the Merkaba and take them into the feet of the Sphinx. And she took it from there, and she actually channeled the Sekhmet, which I think is the feline goddess. I love it. And she actually brought people through the chamber underneath the Phoenix and down into Agartha, into the inner earth. And we met some beings there, and I channeled one of those beings in a meditation. So all was just happened in 25 minutes. It was beautiful, but the energies were so high in the room, because again, it was like 15 people, and the energies are so beautiful. And I opened a portal, and really energies were amazing. People would just wanted to stay there, and it was hard to come out. And everybody was just like, wow, this feels so good. And we're all like wobbling in that energy. We're like, it was so fantastic. And it's beautiful to bring it to people. Again, they don't necessarily have to understand quantum healing. They just want to know and connect with cosmos and with this kind of level of things. So it's beautiful. It's fun to do. So I'm going to bring all those to as well.
One of my favorite things that you've said today is about how, this is available to us all, and bring these tools out there so that you don't have to depend on anybody, not a guru or a teacher or anything. Harry, this has been really great catching up with you today. I've had a lot of fun understanding more about your work and hearing more about it. How can people find you other than on the quantumhealingpractitioners.com directory? Can you tell us about your website and maybe something that's coming up here in the near future that people can get involved with? And you're in Arizona, right?
Right. Yes, I'm in Arizona, but again, I'm welcome to travel if anybody wants to fly me anywhere they want to do some workshops and retreats. My website is harrykroner.com. Can't be simpler than that, harrykroner.com. And all information is available there. Coming up, I have a retreat with a couple more very, very high-level individuals with Jennifer and Kate. We're doing a retreat for Starseed Gathering Retreat, Awakening Retreat. So we're going to do some wonderful stuff, some deep meditations of the sort I just explained, some energy healing, some channelings of Ascended Masters and people from Pleiades and different elements. So that's what's coming up.
Is that there in the Arizona area?
Yes, it's going to happen right here in the beautiful forests of Prescott, where I live. We live up in the mountains here, so it's really quite beautiful.
Super. Well, thank you so much. And those of you out there who are anywhere near or want to visit Arizona to have a wonderful Starseed experience, look Harry up. Harry, thank you again for your time today. And I want to remind all of you out there, if you're looking for a practitioner, please visit quantumhealingpractitioners.com. And if you are a practitioner of any kind, you do Reiki, EFT, counseling, life coaching, any of that kind of stuff. If you're a medium, a channel, a psychic, we'll list you too. And we want to connect people with their healers and vice versa across the planet and across the cosmos. Thanks, Harry. It's been fun. Really enjoyed connecting with you. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for listening.